Let's figure out how much has the Imperium lost since the Horus Heresy. Shout out to PancreasNoWork. Let's go, y'all.
Themes of Warhammer 40k is the idea that everyone in the setting is in some way decayed from what they used to be. That they're lesser, a shadow of what they once were.
What game is this, y'all?
The Eldar used to rule the galaxy. Now they're reduced to craft worlds scattered across it, a giant cancerous slum filled with the absolute worst people ever, and a bunch of clowns. The orcs used to all be the size of school buses and able to smash Necrons like they're made of plywood. Now they're Cockney football morons. The Necrons themselves, for that matter, used to have souls. Now they have none, and most of them don't even have a personality. If that doesn't count as lesser, then I don't know what does.
My bad. Wait, did I say that they were trash? No, Mr. Necrons. Yo, they got all my respect, bro. I don't know if y'all know or not. I mean, I told the story like 20,000 times, but like, you know, we got new viewers, so I'll tell y'all again. Y'all, they pull up to the house expeditiously, 2 a.m. Clank, clank, clank. I'm thinking it's the police. Yo, I'm like, like, I ain't do nothing wrong. I was just telling the police, you know, just to get out of here. Like, you know, shout out to them for their service, but like, you know, skedaddle. It's 2 a.m. Yo, I go up to the door. I unlock my 20 locks. When I open the door, bro, I saw like 8 green beams to my face. 8 green beams to my face. Yo, I felt a smooth yank with my arm. Get over here. I'm like, what's going on? Please don't hurt me. I have a family. Yo, I was in that house alone, bro, single as a Pringle, bro. Like, I had no type of feeling, but I just had to lie. They're like, what were you saying in the video? I'm like, wait, I recognize that voice. Yo, I look up, I saw bro's face. What were you saying in the videos? What you talking about, boo? I didn't say nothing. I knew you were gonna say that. Yo, they pulled out their little iPhone 32, played a clip of me roasting them, y'all. Y'all remember back then when I had no remorse for nobody and I was roasting anybody and everybody in Warhammer? Played that clip, y'all, and bro, my heart, bro, heart was going pumping, bro. My heart was pumping out my chest. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. While he was showing the video, part of me wanted to run. You know, part of me wanted to, like, you know, shake off, like, you know, just shake it off like Taylor Swift and just run. But I can't lie to you. Like, I feel like they would have got me, so I stayed put. He was like, don't do that again. We're letting you off with a warning. Like, he kind of did like a little voice crack. I knew, like, his technology was messing up, but I didn't want to say nothing because, you know, bro, he had the 8 beams to my face. It was green, too. Bro, I thought Superman's people came down and just threatened me. I was like, yo, Superman's my favorite character. Yo, I looked a little closer. I'm like, hold on, let me, you know, I adjusted my bifocals and I was like, oh, snap, it's the Necrons. Let me chill out. So, other than that, y'all, we got to show them nothing but respect over here. And, yeah.
The Tau and Tyranids didn't really lose anything, so they break the mold a bit, but the Tau, by the standards of the setting, aren't old enough to have lost anything, and the Tyranids are the Tyranids. They don't really have anything to lose. And this, of course, holds true for the Imperium. They used to be a galaxy-conquering empire, now they're falling apart at the seams. Before that, humanity used to be in the dark age of technology, where they were in a similar situation to the Eldar, just not quite as powerful. Work might as well have been a hobby, they had complete mastery over their technology, and then everything went wrong. But that being said, let's go forward a bit. The Horus Heresy specifically. What did the Imperium actually lose from that time to the modern timeline of 40k? Because from what I was looking at, they didn't really lose that much compared to everyone else. No, that's not to say they lost nothing. Things certainly got worse in the following time. But I just thought it'd be a fun little video to make while I'm working on bigger stuff. Let's see what the Imperium actually lost from the Horus Heresy and on. Some of it was big, some of it was little, and some of the stuff they lost wasn't actually that big of a deal. And just to clarify, this video isn't specifically about what the Horus Heresy made humanity lose. It's about what the Imperium specifically has lost going forward from that point on. It'll also be pretty general in scope, just as a heads up. First off, let's start with the big one, Big E. They used to have the Emperor of Mankind leading the charge, then he was a bit more secretive, but he was still doing stuff and hanging around. Now he's stuck being a galactic light bulb. Obviously, the Imperium can't—
Oh, man. I feel so bad for him, y'all. He looks so defeated and so worn out. Yo, and he got so many extension cords connected to his brain. GG's. GG's. I know he got the headache of hell. He got the headache of Doomerson, bro. Like, bro, look at him. Like, look how stressed he is. And he got a smile, too. He got to smile because, like, whenever, like, whenever the kid, I'm not laughing, but whenever the kids pull up and like, oh my god, there's the Emperor! Oh my god, You know, the emperor, he got to put on that smile because if he looks miserable, then like it's like a bad example. Like he got to put on that happy face, you
I don't
know.
really count on him doing things anymore besides being a light bulb. I feel pretty confident in it being a valid statement to say that the Emperor has been lost. Being the galaxy's most divine car battery doesn't count as sticking around. But allow me to present to you what can be easily construed as the highest form of heresy. And I'm not making a way overused joke with that. Straight up, this is just heretical stuff I'm gonna throw at you. I don't think the Emperor being confined to his chair is a bad thing. Now there's plenty of reasons for this. I could give you lore-based reasons, like how he was a shit dad to his demigod generals.
He was.
How his plan to keep humanity safe was to hide in a system of magical tunnels that were falling apart and filled with beings that view humanity with contempt. And how he apparently had a physical inability to explain anything to anyone, which as a ruler is a bit of a negative quality. But those are all reasons others have gotten into before, I've gotten into before, and I probably will get into again in the future. No, I'm going to explain why it's a good thing he's gone from the point of view of someone who plays a lot of strategy games. How I personally play strategy games is that I am a slow-moving, slow-to-expand turtle of an empire. I don't
really like play strategy games, y'all. Maybe when I was younger on like Cool Math Games, y'all remember like that website? I don't know if that website's still around, but maybe like on that website, I used to be like a big strategy game type of dude, y'all. But I'm just keep it real. Like I'm not like nowadays, y'all. I'm just like I play like a lot of older games, y'all. Like I be playing like don't snitch on me, but like I'll probably say like last week, bro, like the first ever console that I got ever in my life was a GameCube when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So I knew this gaming thing was, I knew I was destined for it. But I legit like, bro, I got like a game, was like a GameCube emulator or whatever on my PC. And I just play like old GameCube games on my PC, y'all. Yep. And I have way much more like fun playing these games than like some games today, y'all. Just keeping it real. I actually look forward to playing a game more like back then. Oh, I said back then, but more like how before it was like it was kind of like a chore playing a game. Like playing the game was like it felt like a chore. Like I felt miserable playing the game, and I thought maybe my love for video games is dying or whatever. And then, but then, like every time like a new game that I really like, you know, came out and I played it, I liked it. So I was like, wait, maybe it's not my love for game. Maybe it's just like the games that I'm playing. And yeah, I was right, man. The games that I was playing made me absolutely miserable. Warzone made me miserable. I like Fortnite. I do like Fortnite a lot. 2K made me miserable. FIFA made me miserable. What else? What other game made me miserable? Black Ops, not Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops 6. I'm gonna keep it real. Black Ops 6 multiplayer, I liked it. Yeah, I like it. Battlefield was okay. Battlefield 6, the like the Battle Royale or whatever. Oh my goodness, bro, made me age 20 years. But going back to play old school, you know, GameCube games, y'all, man. And it's not even nostalgia. I think it's just because like how simple it was. Like I'm still getting beat on. Like whenever I play NFL Street on the GameCube emulator or whatever, bro, like there's some times where I get beat on, but at the same time I love it though. Like I run it back, you know, like I run the game back. You know, all of a sudden I'm trying my hardest to beat the computer. Like I miss when games was like that. Nowadays, man, like games, I just feel like I don't know. There's some games that get it right. Obviously, Rockstar, they've been killing it. God of War, one of my favorite games. I feel like a lot of story mode games are pretty good. Some of these multiplayer games are and yeah, sorry for the ramble. I just wanted to just tell y'all that.
Wars, I don't like throwing resources into rapid expansion unless it's expansion I know I can do without threat, and I prefer to generalize. Maybe I won't have the best thing for a given situation, but I'll hopefully have enough good enough things to handle the problem. I don't want to sink a massive amount of my resources into one mega project unless it's something that can be done gradually over time. Like early game Stellaris, I'll gun my way as far across the galaxy as I can, but I'm also not going to be starting any wars until I'm a good 40 years into the game minimum. With that in mind, the way the Emperor ran the Imperium is, funnily enough, anathema to me. He expanded the Imperium to be hundreds of thousands of planets in just a few hundred years. His idea of getting administrators and generals was to use immortal demigod heroes with vastly different personalities and levels of capability, and then he just vanished once he decided he'd gone far enough. He left his empire to run itself without setting what I would consider a proper stable groundwork to ensure it would run smoothly without him being around to beat it into submission. Oh. And what did he leave to go do? Why, a single resource-intensive mega project to which the backup plan of was, let's hope we don't need a backup plan, which was then ruined because he trusted his son who was obsessed with magic to not do any magic. The way the Emperor ran the Imperium is a way I physically cannot bring myself to do running my own empires and strategy games, be they grand strategy or smaller scale RTS games. And before you say you're just an idiot who's doing it wrong, let me ask you something, buddy. You ever run an intergalactic empire? Do you have the...
I mean, bro, I could. I could. Just give me a chance. Yo, please give me one more chance. Bro, give me one chance. I'll run it. I'll run it. I'm not afraid to... I'm not afraid of a challenge. I'm not... Come on, bro. Like, I'm not... Like, I'm just... I feel like when it really comes to, like, you know, accepting new challenges, like, I can really step up to it. Like, why not? Like, why not me? Like, you know, like...
used to tell me that I'm wrong in viewing the Emperor's way of handling his empire as stupid? That's what I thought. And hell, there's even a few benefits to him being lost to the Imperium. The Astronomicon is probably more easily powered by him being tied to the damn thing, so that's a plus. Humanity also gained a unifying religion.
Ooh, but I put my dog down for you. Said I put my guard down for you. She said, take your time, what's the rush? Man, she fine as wine.
But going, and in fact the Imperial cult has been stated to be pretty much the only reason the Imperium is even remotely unified. Gilliman called it a necessary evil for that very reason. Shout out to him not being immune to that particular brand of stupid juice, by the way. Real shame the only Primarch who didn't subscribe to the edgy atheist school of thought instead subscribes to the edgy Satanist school of thought instead. Moving on, the Imperium's also lost the Primarchs. They're the next step down from the Emperor, figured it makes sense to talk about them next. Now the Primarchs are a bit trickier than Big E, and no way helped by the fact that two of them have come back, and I like a couple of them. But let's just go with the immediate aftermath of the heresy to start with. After about 1,000-ish years from the Horus Heresy ending, all the Primarchs were gone. Between those who died and the 9 traitors, the Horus Heresy got all but 6 of them removed from the Imperium, and then those 6 proceeded to either run away or get killed. Or semi-killed in one of those cases. Now, this is an interesting one, because on the one hand, several of the Primarchs lost were the sort of people that would have absolutely helped the Imperium if they stuck around, and their absence most certainly hurt it. Gilliman especially springs to mind, being one of the few, if not the only, Primarch who was trying to do any sort of forward planning, and just generally being the expert and administrator that he is.
I mean, bro, without G-Thug, bro, this whole thing would have been failed. I'm sorry. Like, I know, like, I clown G-Thug a lot. You know, he don't got no hands. You know, he's ugly, da-da-da, right? I'm gonna keep it real. Without him, this whole thing would have been failed. That's what I think. Comment down below. What do y'all think about that?
Rogel Dorn could have ensured Cadia wouldn't have fallen until we were at Warhammer.
He fell off so hard,
if he was still around, and Sanguinius probably could have been a decent Emperor 2.0. Even some of the traitor Primarchs would have been helpful had they not turned into the traitor Primarchs. Vulgrim was a pretty cool dude for that whole cocksword thing. He probably could have helped, but also consider that plenty of the Primarchs weren't great for the Imperium before they left. Lorgar might have been diplomatic as a Primarch, but regardless of whether or not you approve of his approach to bringing worlds into compliance, he was going directly against the wishes of the Imperium's leader. That sort of things can only cause problems at some point down the line, even if said problems didn't turn into a demonic revolution. Purely from the standpoint of keeping the Imperium unified and everyone on the same page, I think it's a good thing he's gone. Leman Russ at best is helpful when you need someone disposed of, but the Space Wolves, to be blunt, are not the kind of people you want around in a peacetime situation. And if the Space Wolves are bad for peacetime, the World Eaters are a bad sandwich with extra bad sauce on top. What the fuck is this analogy? They didn't do peace. At a certain...
Who the hell is this? I'm sorry for my language. Who is this? Who is this? First of all, close every single school in his vicinity. You know what? No. Yeah. You know what? School's closed for the rest of the year. How about that? What is this? Oh my goodness. Yo, he looks scary. Like, bro. No offense to him. You know, shout out to him. I don't want no problems. But I just know, bro reeks. He smells crazy. He smells absolutely diabolical. Like, listen, maybe this is just me or whatever. Like, yeah, he stinks. Yes, he's built crazy. He got a Buick back. But at the same time, these weapons do look fire. If I had these weapons, no lie, bro, I'm selling these things, bro. Instantaneous. I'm making millions off of this.
At one point, they probably didn't understand what peace meant, beyond being what you chop your enemies into. Angron becoming a traitor was probably better for the Imperium than not. He was a brutal monster at the best of times, and if the Imperium tried to get rid of him, killing off one of your demigod generals is a bad look. Even if it was done in secret, that's the kind of thing that leads to conspiracy theories on the Emperor killing off his children. But him turning traitor? Well, now you don't have to justify getting rid of the thousands of murder machines you're stuck with. And while him becoming a demon Primarch isn't great for the Imperium, he's also largely been in the warp ever since the heresy ended. Whenever he showed up back in real space was a problem for sure, but he did it so rarely that for the longest time he almost wasn't worth worrying about. That sort of thing is similar to a lot of the demon Primarchs. So while I do think the loss of the Primarchs is honestly worse than the loss of the Emperor, I think in a lot of ways it's not as bad as it could have been and people think it is. You cannot tell me with a straight face that the Imperium would be better off if Conrad Curr stuck around. He made flesh puppets of his dad for God's sake. I didn't want him as a crossing guard, let alone a
And he's such a freakster. Like, I just know he into that. He into that weird-ish. Like, he into this weird, like, I feel like he got a couple kinks that he hiding from everybody. Like, and here's the thing, I don't mean to kink shame. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and, like, you know, if you got something that you really like, you know, in the bedroom, yo, I'm not here to you know, to shame you. It's just, man, like, I just know that, like, the stuff that he's into is really, really bad. Like, nasty bad. I'm talking about, like, see, like, the normal sexual activity, that normal stuff, you know, that's normal, that don't get him off no more. Do y'all know that? For somebody as wicked and crooked as him, bro, that the normal, you know, the normal touch and the normal, you know, role play and all that, you know, they don't like that's not, they don't get him off. He need blood, knives, and just pain, violence. He need that. That's what really gets him off, you know, like
in charge with a 20th of a galaxy-spanning military. Up next are technological losses, and this is going to be a lot more general. Of course, the Imperium has lost a lot of stuff from the Horus Heresy onward. Military equipment, civilian infrastructure stuff, if you can name it, the Imperium lost some form of it. This section is the one I think included some of the most catastrophic losses of the Imperium, although with that being said, in a lot of ways, I don't think it's as bad as you might think. Let me explain by talking about Space Marines. Terminator armor is already rare, and a lot of the varieties were either just straight up forgotten about or are so rare and hard to make nowadays that you just don't see them for that reason alone. Same for the different patterns of Dreadnought. The Custodies can still make most of the stuff, sure, but the average Space Marine chapter gets the Boxknot or the new Primaris ones. Another example is Volkite weapons. To simplify these things, they were basically weaponized furnaces. Not quite the same as a melt-a-gun, but similar enough to make the comparison. After the Horus Heresy and half the Mechanicum going with the traitors, almost no one has these things anymore. Compare this to the Horus Heresy times, where every single legion had reliable access to them, as well as a pretty respectable amount of the normal human military. Volkite tech was so common back then that what the Mechanicus now undoubtedly considers to be sacred tech to never be given to anyone else was something they just tossed at whoever asked for it. Titans, plasma guns, different kinds of vehicle, they've lost plenty of stuff since the Horus Heresy ruined everything. At the same time though, compare that to the losses humanity suffered after the Dark Age of technology had ended. Diseases could be cured by literal panaceas. Anything that was wrong with you just cured. It's gone now. Well, much like those diseases used to be, now the panacea is just gone now. The last one humanity had is now in a Dark Eldar treasury somewhere because they thought it'd be funny to steal it. Terminator armor, the highest level of armor an Astartes can wear, was construction equipment. All the Imperium really did was add the black carapace to it.
What?
Astartes can wear was construction equipment. All the Imperium really did was add the black carapace to it so Astartes could wear it effectively and bolt a couple.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? It's funny that he says that because I can just imagine, bro, they're building, like, you, bro, I know a lot of y'all have seen, like, Warhammer cities, and, like, I forgot there was one city where, like, everybody was eating, like, cornstarch or human starch or whatever. Bro, these cities, they be having these huge buildings and, like, with the pointy tips. Pause. I caught that one. See, you're never going to get me. But back to what I was saying. The buildings that got, like, the really pointy, like, you know, tips and stuff like that, like, the buildings that look really, really, really scary. Like, bro, I could just imagine, like, some of these guys, like, building, like, the building and, like, accidentally slipping and falling. But then, like, as soon as they hit the ground, they just get up and dust themselves off. Look, bro, if I'm wearing this, like, this type of armor, bro, nothing's hurting me. Nothing's hurting me, bro. Seriously. I can see why this was armored for the construction workers. Duh. Bro, with this type of armor, ain't nothing breaking you.
couple of sensors onto it just to make it a little bit more combat effective. And that's not even getting into things like the Arc Mechanicus black hole gun that could cause you to time travel back into yourself and explode, or the machines that could straight up erase matter from the universe. Compared to that, the losses from the Heresy onward weren't that bad. Let's put it this way. Imagine if the United States lost the ability to make F-35s. I don't mean they lost it like the one they just fucking lost in the middle of nowhere, although I can almost guarantee you that thing is going to make an appearance on a War Thunder forum sooner or later. The government probably had to fight off War Thunder fans like it was Call of Duty Zombies to get the damn thing back. What I mean is to completely erase the ability of the United States to produce the F-35 fighter jet going forward. That would be bad, and that's what I view the losses of the Horus Heresy onward to be like for
do y'all think that, like, whenever, like, they're making these in, like, warehouses or whatever, do y'all think there's, like, instruction manual? Do y'all think that, like, I would imagine so, right? Like, there's no way people that are making these, they know how to make these just off the bat, like, or like, do they learn how to make these, like, in college or something like that? Like, there has to be, like, a big piece of paper that says, okay, let me see. AE, connect this, okay, AF, okay, screw, okay, AG, like, there's no way that there's, like, a big instruction. I just can't imagine that.
But there's still plenty of other fighters to use, just like the Imperium still has plenty of other weapons available.
Well, like a GT, oh my god, I'm so cooked. This is probably real life, but, like, I don't know why, but, like, my first thought was, like, this is like a GTA jet.
Now, using that analogy, imagine if the United States lost the ability to make jet aircraft. Not because of resource shortages, but because the knowledge of how to make anything with a jet on it is just gone. That's how I view the Dark Age of technology losses compared to what was lost between the Heresy and modern 40k. Also, please, for the love of God, don't yell at me because the F-22 is actually better than the F-35, or vice versa, and I'm an idiot either way.
I don't know, bro, the last 3 seconds that Pan was just speaking, it sounded like calculus to me. I'm gonna be honest, like, I wasn't, he said F-22, F-35, you know, F-64, I'm like, yo, I don't, hey, bro, that he losing me. That sounds like prime trigonometry, like what he's saying. Like,
everything I know about those plans because
it sounds diabolical.
Line crosser. I'm not a military aircraft expert. I just like people talking about the funny flying death machines. But to get back on track, the losses of technology after the Horus Heresy, bad, but not as bad as you might think. It's the difference between the upper end of the tech tree being lost versus half the entire tree being eaten by termites. Next up, their records. The Imperium has lost most of the things it's kept records of. I mean, the Tau as a faction only exist because the Imperium lost the record of them existing when they were still bound to their home planet as a medieval era civilization. Then a warp storm happens, Age of Apostasy happens, and then everyone forgets about the Xenos race that was supposed to be purged until they're suddenly knocking on your door like Jehovah's Witnesses with railguns. And when I say lost, sometimes I don't even mean that the Imperium's record storage was wiped out like with a lot of their other lost stuff. I mean, if the data storage of a given planet gets wiped out by demons, it's kinda hard to blame the Imperium for that, you know? But sometimes they just forget they have something because their bureaucracy is such a shit show that once something is filed away, it is for all intents and purposes gone. For example, take the First Tyrannic War. The Mechanicus fended off a splinter of High Fleet Behemoth by saturating the atmosphere of a planet with Promethium refinery runoff and then lighting it on fire. It was a pretty resounding victory, and while you can't always recreate that sort of thing depending on where they're invading, it's a good trick to have for Forge Worlds facing invasions from the Nids in the future. Problem is, when the incident was recorded, the Mechanicus just straight up forgot about it after it was stored. It's like when you forget where you put your car keys, except your car keys in this instance are a near guaranteed way to repel a horrific monster invasion. In all honesty, I think this is the worst of all things the Imperium has lost. You know the number of there being 1,000 Space Marine chapters in the Imperium? That's the estimate of the Administratum. In all honesty, there's dozens, if not hundreds more out there, some of which may even be damn near Legion strength. The lore doesn't make much use out of it because a whole Space Marine Legion suddenly appearing to save Cadia would be the ass-pull to end all ass-pulls, but
you know what, like, my thing is, bro, how do they keep up with so many, like, bro, my brain would explode, and when I say they, I mean Games Workshop. How does Games Workshop keep up with so many, like, factions and like and how do they like intertwine them with like the lore, and then how do they make sure that that everything is like lore? Oh man, like my brain is exploding. like bro, I'm trying to like you get what I'm saying? Like, how do they make sure that like they aren't contradicting themselves with all these factions and stuff like that? How do they do that? Like, I don't understand that. And also, if you have seen like a contradiction in like some books or whatever, obviously, like, I'm not going I'm not about to like tear down somebody's house for that, but at the same time, like if you've seen something like that, I would definitely like, I would like to know, like, what do you guys think about that? Or do Games Workshop do a really good job in like connecting different factions, and like, what do you guys think about Games Workshop storytelling, basically?
Thing to happen in this setting. Plus it gives you room to homebrew your own army, which is always nice. But back to the point, the Imperium's records are so shit that they could lose entire groups of people the average person considers to be an angel. And something like a planet isn't exempt from this either. The Imperium having a million worlds is equal part truth and conjecture. In reality, it probably has a decent chunk more than that, but no one knows they exist because the records of it have either been destroyed, misplaced, or just forgotten about in the first place.
Okay.
These lost records mean the Imperium can't make use of what would otherwise be fantastic additions to itself. If you don't know a planet is there, you can't get taxes from it. I think this is worse than—
Ooh. Interesting. Really? So as a rogue trader myself, I mean, yo, Pan, bro, shout out to you for your help. You didn't even know that I was a rogue trader, did you? Man, like, I don't know if y'all know, but I actually own a few planets, and I tax them around 70%. So each check they're getting, give me 70%. Like, and this is what I do. Like, say what you want, but like that's just that. I mean, I own the planet. This is my rules. Like, I get to make whatever I want. Interesting. So all the planets that are just hiding out, just wherever, and they haven't been taxed yet. So what you're telling me is I need to look a little deeper. I need to really look a little harder to see all the planets that haven't really been. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Wow. Wow, bro. I'm over here rubbing my hands like, man. This is interesting, bro. So a lot of these planets that tried to be low key, they low key succeeding right now because there's no taxes, huh? Okay. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. But hey, bro. Oh man, like I'm so good at what I do. Wow. So to all y'all planners out there that's watching this and thinking that, oh, well, I'm tax free. You think you tax free? Okay, bet. Okay. Okay, bet. So like the next time, I'll probably say like next week. So next week, whenever I find your planet and my face is on your money, don't be saying nothing. Yo, the next time, listen. Don't panic now. To all you planets out there that was rejoicing and jumping up and down and smiling from ear to ear like the Grinch on Christmas. Oh, I'm tax free. Oh, is that what you think? You didn't think my boy PancreasNoWork didn't put me on game? Is that what you think? And here's the thing: a lot of my audience, they think that it's a bad thing because I'm taxing my people 70%. Because like, what's his name? Like what's that one rapper name? Hey, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Crazy work, huh? Hey, to all you planets that haven't been taxed yet, guess what? Hey, it's cool when they do it, and it's going to be a problem when I do it. It's going to be, because I'm taxing 90%. Yo, if you didn't want to get, here's the thing: if you didn't want to get taxed so much as 90%, you should say, hey sir, we're over here. At first we were trying to hide from you, but we just had to be honest. Bro, if you would have just been honest with me, I would have taxed you like 20%. Yeah. Bet you didn't get that one, did you? What happened to the rejoicing? What happened to the dancing? And then what happened? All you planets that was jumping up and down, bro, y'all planets was rumbling. I thought, oh, they got an earthquake. No, sir, they're just happy they're not getting taxed. What? That planet right there, sir, the one that's trying to be low key. Oh, you don't say. Now you're getting taxed double. Now you're getting taxed double. You lucky, bro. You lucky I can't go past 100%. Because Because I would have been took everything. Yo, you might as well not have a job. Yo, you might as well not have a job, bro. Because the fact that you tried to hide from me, automatic 90% tax. And yo, no lie, every single bill. I don't care if it's a $1 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, 50, 100. Yo, it's gonna have my face on it with different expressions. Like, bro, I'm gonna have different expressions and everything on every single bill. Stop playing with me. Hey, PancreasNoWork, bro. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I knew something was off. I knew I was missing money. I know I'm worth, what, $3 trillion, but I knew I was missing some money.
The technological aspect for a variety of reasons. Let's start with the obvious. If you forget a planet exists because your administratum is the epitome of the word Byzantine, then you probably aren't going to supply it well. Or at all, really. One day, there's a new Chaos Space Marine warband using it as the capital of their little empire, and this could have been easily stopped had someone 5,000 years ago not accidentally filed the planet under the wrong folder in your planet-sized library. Alternatively, important war zones get sent massive amounts of candy and other goods, while some random paradise planet in the middle of bumfuck nowhere is suddenly drowning in enough lasguns to choke a hive fleet with. But dig deeper than that. Think about things like the Mechanicus and their obsession with finding ancient ruins, because that's where all the good tech lies. Imagine how many potential dig sites or caches of ancient tech have been lost to time because someone filed it away to be looked into later, and then the information just could never be accessed again going forward. I know it sounds like a joke, and it kind of has been used as such, but I'm not kidding when I say that a pretty good deal of the problems the Imperium faces could probably be solved if it had better record keeping and hadn't lost what it once had. Imagine if something like a map of prominent Dark Age of Technology shipyards existed. Even if they're all in complete ruins, the information found in the wreckage alone could probably revitalize the Imperium. Surely before the Horus Heresy, something like that would have been one of the Emperor's top priorities, but because the Horus Heresy did a lot more than get a bunch of Space Marines killed, it no longer exists. And remember, the Imperium did used to have things like that. That's how the Lion beat Lehman Russ to finding a civilization of non-compliant humans they were fighting. He just looked at old colonial records and went to the homeworld. I mean, for the love of all that is good in this universe, which is next to nothing, I admit, the calendar is a subject of intense debate. Can you imagine if you walked up to a group of people and asked them the date only to get 3 different responses? One of them says the current year as you know it, one says 1985, and another hits you with an absolute mental flashbang and goes, ah yes, it is currently the year 279 BC. And any one of them could be right. Legitimately, if the Imperium hadn't lost so much in the form of the records it keeps from after the Horus Heresy, if so much wasn't tangled in the end-all be-all of disorganized Google Drive...
This is why I know some corruption's going on. Why are these records kerfuffled? Why are these records look like somebody ran through them? What's going on? What's going on? What happened? Somebody went to a few parties and, you know, slipped up? What happened? A lot of these records, yo, I checked the file the other day. I checked the file cabinet the other day, bro, and so it looks like somebody was really digging through them. I wonder what that's about. Hey, y'all let me know. Y'all tell me something, because, yo, any information that I'm getting, I'm giving it to the police. Yeah, I like the cops around here. Bro, I love the police. I love the cops. I love them. Yeah. I love the cops. I love the police. And guess what? And that lawyer of mine is Jewish as well. I'm winning every case. Play with me. Play with me. Yeah. So any information that y'all could give me, I would happily give it to the Warhammer police. Because guess what? We're going to figure it out. All those high lords in Warhammer, we're going to figure it out. What were those high lords doing in their younger days? Or are they still kicking? And I'm not talking about Lionel Messi on the football field.
Folders, it would have probably defeated half the enemies it faces by now. So what's there to take away here? Honestly, it's that the Imperium has lost plenty of things from when it started, but compared to what the other armies have lost in the lore, I don't think it's that bad. Compared to what humanity as a whole has lost, the Imperium specifically isn't that bad. In some ways, it's even grown, mostly in literal size, since I remember the intro of a Rogue Trader anthology going, "Mankind's reach is always growing, for it is the only way to survive." Like I said, I don't think some of the things people decry the most are that bad. Half the Primarchs were real shitters, the Emperor was the biggest shitter at the top of the pile, and the technology from the start of the Imperium to nowadays isn't really that much worse than when it began, at least in my humble opinion. The record thing is pretty abysmal though, that one's pretty crippling. In fact, if you're gonna take anything away from this video, take that away. Between data corruption over tens of thousands of years, originals and copies being destroyed, and the Imperium going on for so long that its origins are a myth, the worst thing it lost wasn't anything material. It was the knowledge that it had lost anything to begin with. Because if you know what you lost, you can go looking for it, or work on a replacement. But 10,000 years of garbage record keeping and destruction of documents mean that not only does the Imperium not know what it once had, it doesn't even know it doesn't know something anymore. Also, that whole "the only way to survive is to keep growing" thing gave me an idea for a video, but that's for another time. I'd like to try and keep to the schedule I promised in a community post a little while ago. Speaking of, quick update for what's to come, so if you don't give a damn for what I'm tentatively planning, then feel free to either click away or skip to the end video joke, whatever floats your boat. Kane's video is coming along with a decent amount of lines recorded, and the script
Is it a video joke?
downloads just a couple of high-definition Skyrim sex mods, and suddenly it's like I'm a devout father.
Oh, no. Oh no, that's a joke we gotta avoid. Other than that, man, shout out to PancreasNoWork, man, for the video. Make sure y'all go check him out. I'm gonna put his channel description down below. And if y'all enjoyed my reaction, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate y'all's support, man. Peace out, y'all.